Hey, what's up everyone, this is Gamers with a Reason, and I gotta say, for all of us tech enthusiasts or just average people, we all know that technology is rapidly evolving like crazy. You know, by the time you buy a new graphics card, there's probably gonna be another one already out. You know, the only way it won't be like that is if you buy it on the very first day, but you're probably gonna end up forking much more money than the people that buy it a little bit later, so that's that. And a few things in the computer world have definitely happened recently, and I hope it starts evolving even more, because I guess you could say they're very close to a certain line of just amazing, I guess you could say. And first things first, everyone knows Asus, everyone knows them for their monitors, their gaming equipment, you know, their motherboards, you know, their laptops, and just a lot of things. You know, they're a really good company, and just recently they've came out with a monitor. The model is the Asus VG278HE. It's a 27-inch monitor, and what it offers is something that no monitors on the market right now have. And what it has, it's an LCD, and what it has is 144 hertz refresh rate. Now, that's more than any monitor that's ever came out. You know, you may see 120 hertz every now and then, yes, but most people use 60 hertz monitors on TVs, you know. And for anyone that plays games in 3D, you know that you have to look around to find a 120 hertz 3D supported monitor to be able to play your games in 3D, you know, because in case you don't know, when you play in 120 hertz on a 120 hertz monitor, when you're playing in 3D, it cuts the frames, or the refresh rate, in half, you know. So it cuts into 60, you know. So that way you're seeing 60 hertz through each eye, I guess you could say. And, you know, they can't just do that for 60 hertz refresh rate monitor. You know, they can't cut that in half and make it 30-30, because 30 is just, well, 30 for a monitor would just be terrible. Let's just say, like, a game. It gets 30 frames per second. That's just barely playable. I mean, that is playable still. You know, the 60 hertz is just amazingly smooth. But, anyways, the reason I'm talking about this is because 144 hertz is going to bring an opportunity for a lot of people, whether they're playing games in 3D or not. You know, me, I got an Asus, or 3 Asus monitors right behind me. They have a 75 hertz refresh rate. Now, that's not too much of a difference from 60 hertz, but I will admit, when I played games like Modern Warfare 3 and put it from 60 hertz to 75 hertz, I noticed a huge difference. Just definitely a difference. You know, when I was playing games, they just seemed much more smooth. You know, just the response time and everything. It just seemed much more like real life, you know, in a crazy way, you know. And it felt like the game just got a big upgrade. It really did, you know, it just felt different, you know. And just better, you know. It's like getting a graphics upgrade almost, you know. And with this, if you're playing on a 3D monitor, you'll be getting, since it'll cut in half, it'll be 72 hertz refresh rate. Now, that's very close to 75, you know. And that's another reason why I said these technologies are very close to certain edges, because the 144 hertz refresh rate is not too far from 150. If they get 150, I'm going to buy that sucker. Because I want to be able to play games in 3D and be able to get 75 hertz refresh rate, you know, after it getting cut in half for 3D. So I gotta say, it's gonna be amazing. But still, 72 hertz, you should definitely still notice a difference. So that's that. And even if you don't play in 3D, you could play in 2D, and you'll be getting 144 hertz refresh rate. Now, I'm probably gonna be using it for that, but one of the reasons I said it's great for benchmarking is because, in case you don't know, when we play video or games on computers, you know, if they get more than 60 frames per second, you get screen tearing. You know, which is when, you know, things that are aligned, they're no longer aligned. It's like, it just cut over a little bit. It's just, they're not aligned anymore, you know. And that happens because, you know, when it gets too much frames per second, when it gets much more than 60 frames per second, you know, because, you know, there's 60 hertz refresh rate on most monitors, you know, it's getting too high for the monitor to be able to handle it. You know, that's why there's VSync. VSync usually keeps it at 60 hertz or 60 frames per second, but you know, sometimes it can make it very laggy after trying to do that. So that's one reason I like the most recent 600 series of NVIDIA graphics cards because they have adaptive VSync, which keeps it, I guess you could say it's like VSync, but it automatically changes. You know, if the game starts getting laggy, like VSync usually would, eventually makes the frame rate go down. When it does that, it turns off VSync so then it can go back to around 60 frames per second, and then it cuts it at 60 frames per second again. And it just keeps on doing that to keep it from getting laggy, keep it from getting screen tearing. So, anyways, that's really good for that, and the reason I said that is because with a 144 hertz refresh rate monitor, when you're doing benchmarking, some graphics cards do get that performance, and it'd be really good to be able to show it without that screen tearing problem. And without having to buy a 600 series graphics card, you know, just get rid of that problem, you know. But, anyways, the other thing I was going to talk about is RAM. Every computer has RAM in it, you know, it can't run without it, really. And, some of the most recent, manufacturers for RAM have started overclocking it even more. You know, a lot of them you could buy them with like at 1600 megahertz, you know. But, some of the most recent ones are coming at 2133, you know, and I gotta say that's quite a difference. Yeah, definitely quite a difference, because, you know, some people when they have a 16 megahertz RAM, they usually overclock it to, you know, 1866. But 2133, that's a lot faster. And it's, I guess you say RAM's almost getting to the point that it's almost like a CPU, you know, because back in the day, you know, if you had a CPU that was a dual core or even a single core, you know, getting something like 2.4 gigahertz, you noticed how fast it was. I mean, that was the mark that told you, hey, I got a really fast computer, you know. And once RAM starts coming at 2.4 gigahertz, I wouldn't be called gigahertz, but it'd be like 2400 megahertz. That's going to be a huge difference, and I'm going to just love to have something like that. So that's the reason, you know, why I said both of them are very close to the edge, because, you know, 144 hertz refresh rate, it's very close to 150, and 2133 megahertz on a RAM is very close to 2400, you know, not too far, you know. Now, I will warn you that the RAM is a little bit pricey, but I've seen a few manufacturers selling it for still around $100 or less, so, and that's really good. So, thanks everyone for watching this video, and put a comment below, you know, try to put something interesting, you know, like something about a monitor that you think that would be the ultimate thing, you know, like let's just say a 144 or 150 hertz LED monitor with all this contrast ratio, or just something interesting that has to do with technology that isn't too far away, something that would actually be a pretty good idea. So that way, let's just say if we wanted to, we could start asking you, the manufacturers, be like, hey, can you please make a monitor just like this, you know, because they do care about our thoughts sometimes. And, you know, and it doesn't hurt to try to really think of anything that would be amazing to see, you know, because they look for those things, so that way they'll know what kind of products that will really get people's attention, you know, and that will be just a definite buy, you know. So anyways, thanks again for watching this video, and please comment, rate, and subscribe, and see you guys in the next video.